Okay, in this particular video, we are going to be going over 7th grade area of a circle when given the diameter. Our standards are 7.G.4. Your I can statement for today is I can find the area of a circle when given the diameter. So same concept whenever the radius was given. Today we're just taking it a step further. There's one more additional step when the radius is given, because my formula uses radius and not diameter. So I am going to be going over the video with a guided practice sheet. So if you would like to print it off to go over it with me, you can, or you can just follow along or take out a sheet of notebook paper, whatever works best for you. So let's go ahead and recall our area formula for a circle that we discovered in the previous video, which is area is equal to pi times radius squared. Okay, and in 7th grade, well, first we also know that anything squared, you're multiplying it by itself. So pi times r. And then also in 7th grade, we know that we're using 3.14 for pi. Okay. And we're going to go over number 1 using that particular formula. So again, our formula that we're using is area equals, I'm going to just go ahead and plug in 3.14 instead of switching from pi to 3.14. So 3.14 times radius squared. I'm going to use the dot for multiplication instead of an x so I don't get that confused with a variable or a letter. Okay, so again, my formula, as I can see, uses r, which is radius. The diameter is what is pictured. Remember that the diameter goes the full length across the circle, and the radius is only going to go half. So if I know that the radius is halfway, diameter goes all the way across, and that's 6. Half of 6, or 6 divided by 2, is equal to 3. So my radius is 3, so that's the number I'm going to be plugging into my formula today. So I have 3.14 times 3 squared, and then I know that when I square something, I just multiply it by itself. So it's going to be 3.14, okay, times 3 times 3. So take out your calculator. If you don't have the graphing calculator, don't worry about it. Take out your phone, take out another handheld calculator, or use Google. We're going to do 3.14 times 3 times 3, and that number in the calculator comes out to be 28.26. We are still rounding to the nearest tenth. Okay, the 2 is in our tenths place, and if you remember the saying, the hundredths value is going to help us out, and 6 is in our hundredths place, and the saying is 5 or more, raise the score. So 6 is 5 or more, which means 2 is going to be raised. So 28.3, 3 being in our tenths place, is going to be your answer with yards, because that is what is pictured in my circle, squared. And again, that is your final answer for area rounded to the nearest tenth. Okay, number 2, same concept. We're still using the equation 3.14. The formula 3.14 times radius squared. So area equals 3.14 times radius squared. And in this case, our radius, we need to find that because the diameter is given again. If the diameter is 8, half of that is going to be the radius. So 8 divided by 2 is 4, which makes our radius 4, which is the number I'm going to be putting into our formula today, or for this particular problem. Remembering that anytime I square something, it's multiplying by itself. So 3.14, and I'm going to be doing 4 times 4. So taking out your calculator, 3.14 times 4 times 4 comes out to be 50.24. Okay, the 2 is in the tenths place because I'm still rounding. The 4 is in the hundredths, and it's going to help us out. Our saying is 5 or more, raise the score, or 4 or less, let it rest. So the 4 is going to let the 2 rest. So 50.2, 2 being in the tenths place, kilometer squared is our final answer of area rounded to the tenth. Okay, Number 3 is taking it again one step further. Our diameters are now going to be decimals. Okay, so same type of concept. The only thing is now this is a decimal, so we're still going to divide, and I'm going to walk you through that. So I'm going to write the formula up here bigger so we can see it again. Area equals pi r squared, and we're using 3.14 for pi in the 7th grade. Okay, so for this particular problem, area equals 3.14 times radius squared. And now we need to find our radius because, again, pictured is our diameter. Diameter goes all the way across. Radius only goes halfway. Okay, so I'm going to take, still same concept, 7.4. I'm going to divide it by 2, or half of 7.4. And that comes out to be 3.7. So my radius is 3.7, which is going to go into my formula. Okay, which means I have 3.14 times 3.7 times 3.7. Okay, and as I use my calculator, 3.14 times 3.7 times 3.7, 42.986. So that's a lot to round. So again, it was 42.986. Okay, same concept. I am rounding to the nearest tenth. So I need to find what's in my tenths place, which is 9, and the hundredths place value is 8. Same saying, 5 or more, raise the score. 4 or less, let it rest. So the 8 is 5 or more, so it's going to raise the score. 9 is going to raise to a 10, which means it's also going to be brought over to the ones place. So 43.0, or just 43, is my rounded answer for this problem to the nearest tenth. It used yards, and I'm going to square it. Okay, so again, let's just say 43 yards squared is my final answer. Okay, for number 4, which is our last one on our guided practice today, the diameter is also given again. So I'm going to need to split the diameter in half because my formula uses radius. So area equals 3.14 r squared. So again, I need to find the radius in this problem. If the diameter is 12.8 going all the way across that circle, the radius is only going halfway. So you're going to take 12.8 divided by 2, and that number is 6.4. So 12.8 divided by 2. 6.4 is your radius. Going into the formula, we are squaring it because that's what my formula says to do. I'm also remembering that if I square a number, I'm multiplying it by itself. So 3.14 times 6.4 times 6.4. And I'm going to use my calculator, my phone, Google's calculator, something to take 3.14 times 6.4 times 6.4. And my number comes out to be 128.6144. Again, a lot of numbers to round, it looks, but I'm still going to use the same concept of rounding the nearest tenth. So finding what is in your tenths place is 6. The 100ths place is going to help us out. So it's still the same saying. 5 or more, raise the score. 4 or less, let it rest. 1 is less than 4, so the 6 is going to rest. So 128.6 is my final answer. This problem used miles. I'm going to square it. So again, my final answer is 128.66 being in the tenths place, miles squared. So I hope this video helped you all out in finding the area of a circle whenever you are given the diameter. As always, if you need any help, just reach out to me.